Okay, back at the Monroeville Mall for Living Dead Weekend 2025. Hopefully not the last one here ever, but it's looking that way. It's very sad. Here at the iconic bikers entrance in the movie, big finale in the movie. It's looking worse for wear these days. I think they stripped a bunch of stuff to check the structure to see if it needed to be repaired or just knocked down. And it's not looking very pretty, so maybe that's another reason why this place might be on the chopping block, sadly. But yeah, this is the entrance. There's the loading docks that open up and the van, and all the bikers go through there. These are the doors that the zombies are pushing up against in a lot of the scenes where there's voiceover from the dummies guy. There's the big windows over here. I think the first one here, I think is the first one, is where the fat guy bounces his belly a bunch before later on he finally gets hit in the head and falls into the fountain that's no longer here. He's now been nicknamed the Cannonball King. And then, because I couldn't resist to add an extra backstory to it, where the Cannonball King became the Belly Flop King because he gained so much weight he could no longer do a proper cannonball. And he had his demise was his last belly flop ever as a zombie into the pond or the fountain in the mall. So he wanted to come back as a zombie and hang around his favorite fountain. And when he got shot, he got to do his last belly flop. So yeah, there's the rocks where the guys get shot. Larry starts his tour here, as I said earlier in the live stream. And I switched to local because as soon as I go a little bit in here, I start getting choppy and it finally just cut off. So let's get a quick look around. I showed this one of these corridors already. It's one of the service tunnels in the mall. All over the place. The place is like miles and miles of service corridors, and we do several of them on Larry's tour. Here's a great view. This is very familiar if you watch the movie, and the big Sirocco car chase scene with the zombies. A lot of shots like this. Way less vending machines here than before, so that's another sign things are not going too well here. The arcade is still here, and they still have the zombies game in the mall, so you can play zombie laser tag in a mall known for zombies. Here's the big famous map. It got reproduced over the years for fans who just wanted to see it. And I'm not sure if they updated this lately. I heard a lot of the stores are closed, so this might be out of date. Macy's. So these escalators were added to the ends of the mall. Used to be stairs here. Stairs all over the place, actually, except for the central escalators down by where JCPenney's was. And this is exactly where the fountain was. In place of the escalator is a massive fountain right in the center of this big skylight. And these, of course, have not changed. They're very iconic. If you watch the movie, this is exactly what they look like. The marble's all the same. The skylights are all the same. The lights have changed, and the railing has changed. It went from the bent metal bars to glass and wood trim. But it's essentially the same. Oh, did they show? They still have the zombie? Yeah, there it is. Zombie Berg laser tag adventure game. So yeah, they're still having fun repping the zombies here. Why not? There's a video of it here on the screen. It's all like black lights and Zombie Berg. It's funny because the zombies are actually just looks like paintings on the wall. It's just you versus other humans. They just have a zombie feel to it. And see, a lot of these are closed. Caribbean Village is closed. Some of these health places, if I expect to be closed, because they usually have short hours. But not play area closed. Look at that. Again, there used to be a bunch of stuff in here and they took it out. So more bad news. You can't even use the play area anymore. So this place is closed. A lot of these were open last time I was here. Menendez Creations, Pittsburgh Popcorn. Smells good. Auntie Anne's Pretzels is closed. That's unusual. They're always open. So the clothing places are open often. Nebo, Claire's, sunglasses stuff here. These little island places are always open. Even the Auntie Anne's upstairs is closed. I wonder if they're leaving the mall as well. JD. Menswear. Some of those mannequins look like zombies almost. Kind of bluish in tint and messed up hair. This place is closed. I can't remember if it was open last time or not. It's the Rainbow. Snipes. I wonder if that has to do with Wesley Snipes. Ramsey. I got some wild fashions in here. One of these is the doorway. Yeah, that doorway right there. That's one of the halls we come out of on the tour. And Larry talks about here. I think right up there, that escalator with the little chairs next to it, that's the spot where they had the blood pressure machine that Tony Booba has to get his blood pressure done. You know, zombies are chasing after him. And carrying his mannequin for whatever reason. So Foot Locker, this place is closed. H&M is a huge store, so they're gonna be here till the bitter end. More Foot Locker. So yeah, this was the spot right here, according to Larry, where the blood pressure machine was. So these escalators were always here. The ones on the ends were added later. They took the stairways out. And then food court was the ice rink. And district is also down here. So H&M was the original JCPenney location. No, not JCPenney. I forgot what that was. The Center Mark is the original JCPenney location. H&M was something else you mentioned last time. I forgot. But that place closed. Toe 112. Some of these other places are still open. Let's go check out the food court. I didn't really walk through here before. I'll be a little more clear-headed tomorrow after I get some damn sleep. Get my facts straight. Milan Jewelers. Upscale Juice Bar. 777. Oh, they got some kind of a gambling place there. So here's the food court. Glory Jean's Coffee. Everyone's talking about that when they come here. There's a 3D printing place here, Fab Labs. You do some 3D printing stuff. That's cool. TCBY and Mrs. Fields together. You got an elevator here to go upstairs. If you're full belly, you don't want to take the stairs. Lids. I don't know what the store was, but it's gone. Lids I actually like. I got a custom hat from my friend's website to rep his website for matrixscent.com. It's a nice hat. Right now I'm repping the Bright Rags Tales from the Dark Side hat because of the weekend. That place is closed. Here's Charlie's Philly Steaks. Cotton Candy Factory, wow. It's got Bourbon Street Cafe. Yeah, I never walked through here before. Of course, I gotta have a Sparrow. Sparrow is the classic kind of cheap ass Italian, fake Italian food, fake pizza, all that kind of stuff. But in a pinch, and you're hungry, you know, cram it in there. This is Sal the stockbroker from Howard Stern. Michael would get this. Said he loved going to Sbarro before he'd go to the booths to watch the live strip shows where you put the coins in and you watch it. And because he said the Sbarro napkins were the most durable to clean up his mess when he was done at the booths. I love that story. There's a Japanese place. Auntie Anne's is closed here too. I wonder if they're either running crazy low hours now or they're going out of business. Crispies. Warm the soul at Crispies. Of course, Subway's everywhere. You gotta have a Subway. And you got Flamers. Flamers Burgers and Chicken. So just imagine this was the ice rink way back during the movie Dawn of the Dead. There's an old elevator. Been there since the ice rink is out. So I guess that's what, how many years would that be? 30, 20 years? Something like that? No, more than 20 years. Not sure. Again, my brain's fried today, so don't hold me responsible for every single thing I say. I'm just getting some exercise here and getting some coverage before the Living Dead weekend starts. Got some wild furniture here. So here's Fab Labs. Looks like a 3D printer place. Reminds me, I gotta get my 3D printer fixed. Pretty cool. Get kids into their printing. But this wasn't here last time, so it might be a little too late. That one's dead. That one's dead. Hot Topic is always going to be around. Champ Sports was here last time. That's always going to be around. Journeys. Upscale Beauty. These Middle Island places are always going to be here. This is the place they have the after screening party where they screen another movie and have like drinks and pizza and stuff. So they had the Knight Rider's Thrones in here. You could sit and take pictures with it. Pearl of the Orient. Smoke Wizard. This place is gone. That's gone. So here's the restrooms, way the hell back there. The restrooms. Spencer's Gifts, another kind of Hot Topic kind of place. So this is where Living Dead weekend is happening tomorrow, right around all these kids' toys. There's Tom Savini's motorcycle was here on display. And then there's his motorcycle again. Because remember, it's a photo op. So these areas here that are empty on purpose. They're using them for the show. So they're already getting ready for Tom Savini signing over there. He's got his own area now. And there's his motorcycle. Old Harley Davidson police motorcycle with a sidecar. It's kind of fun to see this place before it's all populated and built out. It's very, very stark. And here's the lineup. Celebrating night, dawn, day, and land. And look, Judy O'Day is going to be here, Kyra Sean, so a lot of Night of the Living Dead people. Paul Musser is the famous poster zombie from Dawn of the Dead. This is the airport zombie with bald head. Laurie and Howard Sherman from Day of the Dead. Greg Nicotero is also from Day of the Dead, as well as a million other things. Terry Alexander, Jarlath, Gene Clark is in Land of the Dead. He's Big Daddy. There you go. Oh, how can I not mention Russ Streiner? Russ Streiner's a super cool guy. He's Johnny from Night of the Living Dead. Saw him here last year. Super nice guy. Having a little trouble getting around now. He's getting older, but the guy's got a hell of a attitude and energy level. He's funny. So these are all still open. Of course, the Army Career Center is never going to close. That will be here till the day the mall falls down. This one's gone now. This was some kind of travel place last time. So it's toast. So the rumors are true. They're closed a lot of stores here. This is Romero Court. And if you didn't already guess, there's the bust of George Romero. Expertly made by Christian Stavrakis, Tasso's relative. There you go. I have a nice 3D scan of this. It's not as sharp as this, but it's a pretty good replica of it. And now he's selling mini replicas this year. I don't think I have any money for them, but I would definitely get one if I had the money. Read that a little bit. Still that and read that later. So this is where the stage is going to be. And they put speakers all around. Chairs are all through this area. And it's all good fun. The Living Dead Museum is right up there. So when you take a break, you can go check out the museum, do a tour, buy some merch. There's the JCPenney I showed you from outside, from the car, right above Dick's Sporting Goods. So it's no longer a two-story JCPenney, it's just a one-story, down at the other end of the mall. And of course, we're in the home of the clock tower, also known as Romero Court now. So, yes, the clock tower. And the one thing they lost was the bird on top. Somebody had it in a drawer for a while, and then ended up just throwing it away. So this Time and Space didn't make it. They were here last time. Oh no, they're just closed. So that one's okay. The Collab, I think, was it here last time? I have to check my videos. I can't remember. This was here. Hot Stone Massage. And this is the room they use to get your tickets and ask questions about Living Dead Weekend. So all that's still the same. That hasn't changed. They've got basically 2 rooms upstairs, 2 rooms downstairs. The Romero Court, and they got this room with tickets. And then they have, I think, a few other places for photo ops, maybe? I can't remember. There's a badass kickboxer there. So, this is probably one of the scenes they used for the car chase scene in the movie. Probably was, I don't know if it was actually closed off like this back then or if it actually had doors and windows. But now it's all closed off except for some home care place. So a lot of these long empty hallways at the ends of the mall. And you can just imagine, I think they pretty much know exactly what every mall, whatever corridor was used in the movie for the chase scenes and all that kind of stuff. But it's not always obvious by being here. You gotta sit with the movie and again match some marble patterns like Larry does, stuff like that to really figure it out. Let's go check out the district real quick. I haven't been through much of that. I know Larry went to it for part of the tour because it was the original front of the mall, which is where they put the first truck in the movie to block the front. And they have that scene where the Tasso zombie tries to grab Roger's face and he smacks him. And as they're driving the truck up there, yeah, here's the other room they're gonna have the Living Dead Weekend in. As the truck drives up, you see a couple of zombies go flying. At least one zombie goes flying. That's Tom Savini, Mr. Stuntman, doing his thing. That's creepy. Little laughing sounds out of that bus. Actually, you know what? I've already seen all this. Let's go upstairs and get the district from upstairs. That's a little more efficient. But yeah, it's already shaping up. Got some tables already set up for people. Tom's bike. This place was a machine of some kind, vending site of some kind, but it's closed. So who knows? But yeah, definitely a much lower store count than last time. As was explained. This is fun if you want to go somewhere and you can still continue to watch part of the show presentations while you go up the escalator and pretend you're a zombie. Romero Court. So yeah, if you go watch the movie, you'll know those windows are exactly the same. They haven't changed one bit. This is one of the lock-off seats, I think. They got the car. Yeah, they had to drive the car out through one of the entrances downstairs and drive it up here to bring it in to do the chase scene up here, where they lock off the doors. Here's the big Monroeville Mall Wall of Fame. There's the clock tower with an old Monroeville Mall logo, looks like. And all kinds of stuff throughout history, industry, agriculture, sports. Got Franco Harris from the Steelers. I think they just added that. Is that David Emge? Looks like David Emge. I think they just added that because he died recently. I don't think that was there before. Maybe it was. Other sports figures, musicians. I think that's Kennywood there, depicted there with the roller coaster. With a sneering, pissed off giraffe. Look at that giraffe, man. That's great. I love that. He's just fucking pissed. And you got some athletes and dancers. You got Mr. Rogers, icon of the area. Of course, George Romero used to do stuff for Mr. Rogers, little short films. Larry put a couple up on his channel. You got some interesting like a T-Rex skull there. And of course you got the zombie and Batman, because Dark Knight Rises was shot around here, I think. So yeah, this place in a nutshell. Again, so much marble there, really nice. Marble, marble, marble. Gold and diamonds. Another great shot of the skylight. There's the Living Dead Museum. Halloween Marketplace. Ooh, something in September. Retro Media Marketplace. Another thing in September. Wow. And this event. This is one of the old Monroeville Mall logos on the shirt. Got Monroeville Zombies from Kevin Smith's movies. Living Dead Museum. All kinds of shirts, masks, lobby cards, posters. They have a bunch of, what's that place called? Middle of Beyond, Japanese site that has these like themed shirts for all the movies. Some are plaid, some have like characters' faces on them. I have a couple of them. Have the famous Dawn of the Dead sweater. They also have these jackets that are reversible. There's a Flyboy zombie jacket, which I haven't seen yet. I think that's pretty new. And there's a Bub zombie with the Dr. Tongue inside of it. The reversible jackets. Little Bunny. And some days they're like women selling fudge here. There's a snack time place over there. You got a boxing ring here. This guy's boxing here not too long ago. It's kind of fun. Black and Gold Boxing, Pittsburgh, PA. So some store, I don't know if they're still open or not, I can't tell. There's an arcade there, AC Battle Zone. So they've closed this off. This is another one of the Living Dead weekend things. They got it all set up for secrecy because they're doing like fancy like photo ops and stuff. They don't want to surprise everybody. All the stores in the upper floor seem to be open. I mean, that one's not. But Victoria's Secret's a huge store. They'll be around. Another shoe place. There's that Chinese looking place down there. They have the events. So just like some of the malls on the West Coast, Victoria's Secret now has like a whole extra section. They have the normal store and this Life is Pink section. This has like different stuff in it. Loretta and Associates, tax services. VisionWorks, Boost Mobile. So one sad thing is the shoe store that was the oldest store in the mall, was working when the movie was made, is finally closed, I believe. And you can find it. So here's the original escalators. So you see all the characters going up and down the escalators acting all crazy. Because this was Cinemark, was JCPenney, 2 floors of JCPenney, before they knocked that part of the building down, rebuilt it. But the line is very clear. This is the original flooring, and you can see where the new flooring begins. That's where that sliding door they kept going through at JCPenney's during the whole movie. So the entrance is way back there, but this used to be the glass front right here of the 2-story JCPenney's that had escalators and all kinds of action in that part of the movie. And then there's that scene where they're talking about no more room in hell. They're looking over this balcony right here. So it's right opposite the old JCPenney location, because Penny's was behind them in the shot. And they're actually, I think they were up on some kind of a crane or makeshift platform to set the camera right at the same level as them. I don't think they were across the way, but I could be wrong. I could be using a long lens. But this is the shot that they said the famous line. Or Peter said the famous line. And so of course the mad dash was when they would run from the doorway here all the way back to their lair, down the hallway where the restrooms are, and the some kind of center down there. I'm not sure what was here before, but the mall changed. This is the down toward the district, which I don't know too much about. Another phone store here. But you know, some of the stuff is still open. Pure Oils. This looks like it's not. It's very plain looking. And then Toys and Games is there. Looks like Forever 21 is forever gone. It's not completely empty. They were busy last time when I was here. That's another store that didn't make it. I think they kept raising the rent to chase away stores to make it easier to do what they wanted to at the mall. So Forever 21 took off. Forever gone. This one's gone as well. I think they were here last time. Again, I gotta go back and watch my videos. I don't remember. There's Auntie Anne's is also closed. American Eagle Outfitters is open. They're a big store. Bath and Body Works. So this is their hallway to their lair. So when they'd say, I need lighter fluid, bag it or try for it, I need lighter fluid, it's all right in this corner. And they bash those zombies and make a mad dash for the JCPenney over there to the left. There were, I think, vending machines and telephones down here before. Now it's just a couple of vending machines and candy. But I'll go back down there in a second. I want to show this one store here. That was the original store from the old days of the mall when Dawn was being filmed. Naturalizer. And they just closed, I think, just after the last Living Dead weekend ended last year. So some people were like buying gift certificates for themselves, so it had the name on it as a collectible. But yeah, we talked to them on the tour. They came out while Larry was doing a tour I was on, and the owners talked a little bit to Larry and stuff. It was a nice moment because it's sad, you know. I think they were generally retiring, but with the climate the way it is now here, they would have probably been chased out anyway from raising the once Walmart bought it, they were going to raise the rent like they did to close all these other stores out. So Monroeville Marketplace is still there. New York is still there. The dress shop is still there. Route 21 is still here. So a lot of stores are still here. Of course, Macy's has 2 stores here. And they've officially closed the play area. So they may be getting rid of the play area. Another way of scaling everything back so they can close them all easily. Some nice sun coming through there. So yeah, these escalators are newer than the movie. On either end of the mall. They're all stairs everywhere. You have all the scenes where zombies walk up and down stairs. Those are the old stairs they took out. That's a nice little shot of the new logo by itself with the flowers. It's a shot down the mall that way. And a shot toward Macy's, where the fountain used to be. Right smack dab where those escalators are, on the edge of the play area. Where the fat guy did his final belly flop. The Cannonball King became the belly flop king, and then became a zombie and finally did his last belly flop when he was shot in the head. So here's the upper level of the bikers entrance. Down here, another long corridor with some vending machines and stuff in it. I don't know, it's a GNC ad. I don't think there was a GNC in here unless it left a long time ago. So this is funny. This KB&B, like barber for kids. Looks like it's also toast now as well. They got chased out. So this was when they shot Dawn of the Dead. There's that scene where Flyboy gets a haircut from Fran, and it was in this store. It was called Your Father's Mustache. So it was a haircut place, a grooming place back then. And now it's KB&B. Well, and now it's nothing because they're gone. But it was KB&B, kids barber. I guess this is all part of the same place. So it was pretty. Yeah, Have a little kid's chair that's a, oops, battery's getting low here. That's part of a kid's chair. It's a little car. So here's the biker entrance upstairs. I covered a little bit of this in the live stream earlier. They don't want you to go out here anymore, I guess, but that's where they had the hole in the pavement I talked about. There's Firestone across the way, and Guitar Center. So yeah, good stuff. Let's see if I can start this up again. Oh, no wonder the battery's dead. I should have charged it. I'll do a little more handheld, although it's not my favorite thing to do. Try to be careful with it. So, even the vending machines are understocked. They're just not taking care of stuff anymore. They have the fun shopping carts for kids. Bring a kid and drive around in a little race car, shopping cart. Or stroller, I guess you want to call it. So I don't think I went down this side before. Yet another entrance, which is actually more toward the front of the mall. I think it is 8 o'clock now. I forgot my watch is still on West Coast time. So it is 8 o'clock. That's why they shut those doors. Automatic doors aren't working down at the biker place, so Route 21, lids, some claw games. Kirkland's. There's an office complex down here. Ah, yes, this is where we came for the tour, right? Part of the tour was, yeah, this is the famous photos here, because this was the front of the mall. There's some back hallways here we went through for part of the tour with Larry, but check this out. They've documented the whole Dawn of the Dead thing here. Home of the original Dawn of the Dead. And they have these faded shots. There's the cannonball / belly flop king there just before he got shot and fell into his last belly flop into the fountain. But you can see to the left of the fountain right there, that's where the escalator will be coming down, but it wasn't there. And there's Dario Argento and George. George is towering over Dario. Back when they had all the plants down here and stuff. They had the famous bridge, the fountain, plants everywhere. That's where they buried Roger. When he died, and there's a nice shot of George just hanging out. So a nice little commemoration of what happened here. I thought it was a funny thing here that I saw this on the tour. It said Muzak room. And I wondered if they'd actually considered using some of the Muzak from the time instead of using library music, but that got more of a chuckle than anything else. But here's the other side. There's the Doubletree Hotel. So they're not going to open it now because it's closed. So I'm not going to go out yet. So I don't want to be stuck. But there's Kirkland's. There's Doubletree Inn. And then the major roads to go out of the area. So, interesting stuff. Come back and enjoy some AC for a little bit. So that's one of the main entrances people would take. So you get to see the Dawn of the Dead stuff. And that's where the offices are. If you work here, you don't want to walk all the way through the mall just to get to your office. So they put the offices up front. And it's just like with the back hallways you saw with the service quarters, all kinds of back offices. We went through all kinds of hallways and stairwells and stuff. It was pretty cool just to be truly behind the scenes. Sorry, my camera keeps falling off my shoulder. Shakes my arm. So let's go over to the district real quick. And if they kick me out, I'll go out the biker entrance. We'll do the district tomorrow. So that could be why some of these places closed early. I thought they would be serving some of the food to the very end, but a lot of them don't stay open these days till 8 because really no one's here, as you can tell. It's really like I'm here all by myself. All we need is some gonk playing. It's perfect. So I'll quickly go down their hallway where the lair was, and you guys can see. Give you a little preview of what you can see on the tour. Because they don't lock it here, you can just take a quick peek. It's not doing anything wrong, just to take a peek. I'm not going to walk down the hallway. But if you haven't seen this already from all the coverage last year or other people's videos, this is where they run down here to their lair. This is where Flyboy wrestles with that one zombie, and then Peter throws him over the balcony back there. Hare Krishna zombie walks down here, sneaks into the lair and goes after Fran. But the lair is actually a totally different stairwell, totally different hallway. And of course the final lair where they actually are hanging out is not even here. It was built as a, so here it is. If you look, some lights down there. Authorized personnel only. I'm gonna take a quick look because nobody cares. And if you look, this is the official hallway. So light fixtures are the same. A little more beat up than before. But yeah, this is it. And so one of those doorways they go into is really just the back of a store. That's not what the boiler room is. The boiler room is downstairs, way down some other hallway. But movie magic, they edit and go down this hallway, go into one of these doorways, and magically they're in the boiler room, right by their lair, which is very handy. And there's a stairway down there, but it's not the stairway that goes to their lair. That's a different part of the building. And of course their lair is a built out facility in downtown Pittsburgh. But movie magic, right? So take a quick look here. You can see very, very recognizable hallway if you watch the movie enough. I think the colors were slightly different back then, but basically this is it. And you can always just walk down here and look at it. This is the common room, community room, whatever they called it, where they did, Tom Savini applied all the makeups to the zombies during the shoot. You see way down here, like armed forces recruiting offices. We have a kids learning center. And so you never saw this in the movie. And I'll show you why in a second, but you go all the way down here and you get down to the back of the mall with vehicles can pick up trash compacted stuff. And there's probably some employee parking back there and stuff. But here's the fun thing, see this big hump here? You never saw this hump in the movie. And that's because not only did they build a false wall in the movie to not let humans and zombies know where they are, but this production crew built a false wall right here to have a less busy background and less stuff to deal with. I think it just fit the narrative and the shots they wanted to do. So, and also kept anyone coming and going in the common room, they could still come and go without being behind a wall. So they built a wall right here. If you watch the movie, I think it's slightly as it starts to rise. It's like not right here. I think it's right when it starts to go up, you can see a little bit of a rise. And there's a wall. And as a functioning mall, they can't have that closed off. People have to get in and out. So they probably made a compromise. We'll put the wall right here, and people can still come and go from the other doorway. So that's it. That's the entrance to the lair. That's the wall, the other secret wall the production crew put up. And the secret wall that Peter and Flyboy put up was right here in this little doorway. And of course these restrooms are always here. You just didn't really notice them. You can get a quick drink of water here. water's not working. There we go. So, but see, Bath and Body Works has back entrances in that hallway and side entrances as well, for deliveries and storage and all that kind of stuff. So when they're going through those little doorways in the back hallway, it's not going to the boiler room or any other special place. It's just straight behind all these stores is all their rear access for employees only, storage, and other needs they have to get to the back of the mall. And there are literally tons and tons of hallways down there. You get lost down there very easily. And there's the entrance of the thing. And then they didn't really go down here much in the movie, but they did when the bikers were here, closing off all the stores. And that's where the fountain was. But this is where they got their lighter fluid conversation. Run down there, take a left at that junction, cut across and go straight, and that's where Cinemark is now. Back then it was 2 floors of JCPenney. Let's go down to the district real quick and then I'm gonna bolt. So they'll probably kick me out of here anyway. I gotta charge my gimbal up. This is a little shaky. I'm trying my best. So then the phone store just closed because the mall is officially closed now. So let's go to the district. The only thing left open is the movie theater. So I think they probably don't kick you out of here right away because some people leave the movie theater that way because they're parked maybe somewhere else. So now is the elevator that came up from the food court and goes to this part of the mall. They call the district down here. And they took the original perimeter of the mall and built it out into these shops, including a tattoo parlor and I think hamburger places. Oh, isn't that cute? Look at that. Little burgers and fries. It's called So Cool. It's got the dancing bears from Grateful Dead. Hallmark. And apparently it says the Monroeville Police Department right here. This is where they have their basically mall cops right here. Stuff store. So apparently this Global Glorious Productions was originally the arcade they had in the movie where they have all the scene where Roger's driving that car game and they're doing the outlaw game with the Western shoot 'em up. This was an arcade back then. This is where they had all the coin-op games. I can't remember what they called the place, but that's where they said it was. And you got nail spa. Spectro Dolce, chocolates and candy. That place is always going to be popular. Gourmet fudge, chocolate covered strawberries. So this is all built out. There's the escalators down to the food court. There's a Saga, Japanese cuisine. I like how it's Saga there, but it's Sawa here. So was it originally called Sawa? And they didn't want to replace the glass, and they renamed it to Saga. I think that's kind of funny. Because this has a seahorse and that has a dragon. That's pretty funny. So again, all the marble here, you know this is all original. And this is the main entrance. It's a big curved thing here. And then right out here is where they changed everything. This is where they had the drive-through, where they had, this is all like a covered roof area with roads coming through here. And this is where the trucks came through. And Tom Savini went flying back. And again, that Tasso zombie tried to touch Roger's face and they get all mad. So they wanted to add more stores. They had no room inside, and people wanted probably big space. They couldn't get inside, so they built this out called the District. So this will be my first time walking around here. Again, there's Sagasawa. Nice decorations on the outside, very Asian style. And this place didn't make it. What's it called? Greenhouse Winery. So yeah, they didn't make it. They're gone. So you can see the Monroeville Mall and the stonework and stuff. It's all like original old shit. And this is all built out. So we got Chico's, like clothing for hipper old ladies. Got Klexos Tattoo. So this is where I think Michael's gotten a tattoo here before. I know some other people have talked about it. They're supposed to come here and get a tattoo during Living Dead weekend. This also was a restaurant or something. Oh no, that was something else that's not there anymore. But this is still open, this restaurant. Coast and Maine Seafood Chop House. So yeah, here's Klexos Tattoo. I'll have to talk to Michael about what he's going to do about that. And Barnes & Noble, one of the few bookseller chains still around, is also here, doing well apparently. Some people enjoying Coast and Maine there. And oh yeah, Red Robin, of course. French fries and hamburgers and all the usual stuff. So that's your district. A few fancy places, a few basic kind of junk food places. And there's DoubleTree, as I pointed out earlier, from a slightly different angle. So of course, if you're staying here at DoubleTree, you can't miss the mall, and vice versa. They even had Living Dead weekend. They would have, hey, you want to book a room facing the mall so you can look at the mall all night as a fan of the mall. It's kind of funny. So here's Red Robin, another chain. Nice shot of the Monroeville Mall original entrance in the front, the original front. Barnes & Noble, Starbucks. And that's kind of it. There's a beautiful sunset happening soon, but look at that color. There must have been a lot of pollution there today. Very colorful. And that's the front of the mall. Although the original front used to be right back there. This is the district. Yeah, because this is also built out. The rock is all different. So the view I had of the DoubleTree was from the old part of the mall, just around the corner here, way back to the right. Oh, this is pickleball. That's what it is. Indoor pickleball, pickle parlor. Pickleball is really popular these days. I love that shit. So, and then we're back to where we were in the car earlier. Macy's with that old Monroeville Mall design language with the curved columns, like arches, which they used to have on the side that was JCPenney. And the helicopter flies by, and now it's gone because they knocked it down to build the movie theater. So that's the view of the DoubleTree. So yeah, I was looking through some back door over here to the left. There's the loading dock area. You can see that whole stone wall there. That's down from the back door by their lair. They had the false wall. I was looking through that back door over there. And then there's the other back. You see the original signage, Monroeville Mall, right by Macy's. That's the doorway I looked at to see. So you get an idea of scale. District added a lot of property, a lot of shop property to the mall. His original mall ended right there where that wall is, all the way over to the right. And from that little brick building there, all the way out here was all built up for the district. Whereas before it was just a parking lot. Pretty cool, pretty cool. There's another view of the top of the mall. A big white structure. This also up there when these cooling areas, this cooling part of the boiler room upstairs, the AC system and all that. All part of the original build out of the mall. There you go, back to the original front. Follow the wall. It's an old stone wall, all the way past that round Monroeville Mall rotunda kind of thing, without a dome on the top. So it's not a proper rotunda. Rotundas usually have a dome on the top of them, unless I'm wrong about that too, which happens. So again, old Monroeville Mall signage. Old building that was, and before it was Macy's, it was something else. Is it Gumps? It's Gumps or Gimbals or something. I forgot. Let's go close up to that older outside area. Yeah, this place is built in the late 60s. I think it's one of the oldest malls in the U.S. Probably the oldest one on the East Coast. Look at that. Very nice design language. And over there is the Veterans Affairs building in the background. Go around the side here and you'll see a very familiar sight. Let's just take the grass down. We'll do another grass trip. This was something at some point. Could be a staircase. Yeah, like an old staircase that went down the hill. Just like the other side. They probably were falling apart. They didn't want to repair them, so they just took them out. Old staircases going down. Veterans Affairs, more cool archway structures on the outside. You saw this from the car earlier when I was driving around. Like I said, there was a very similar shape on the side of the JCPenney building, but in this case, this is just one giant set of columns with a big open space. That one actually had a balcony, looked like. It's like 2 floors for the 2 floors of the mall. And you could actually go out there and have a view. Not sure if you could walk out there. It was more just something to look at. But every time I see this, it makes me think of that old JCPenney building. You saw right in the beginning of the mall helicopter pass. So I was confused when I first got here last year. I didn't know about the movie theater replacing JCPenney. So I'm looking for that iconic side of the mall. I couldn't find it. These look very similar, but they weren't the same. And then it was like, oh, that's what happened. They just knocked the whole building down and moved JCPenney inside down the mall. So that whole structure, which wasn't this kind of bone color, it was more of a bright white color, a slightly different shape and structure, but similar, made me think of it. And that's why it's not there anymore. So we come back around full circle, back at Firestone, which again you can see in the movie in the background. It's always been there. This is the ultimate zombie parking lot area where they do lots of shots of zombies doing this and that, playing with cars and walk around this grassy hill. And the bikers come through just to the right of the Firestone building is that back road. So I forgot the name of it, but here we are back at Bikers Entrance, everyone's favorite. So it's not not the front of the building, it's the back of the building. But everyone I know who comes here loves using this entrance because it's so iconic and it looks so similar to the movie. And you can't enjoy the front entrance the same anymore because now it's the district. It's been all built out. It's, other than the walls and stuff being the same, they took out all that extra stuff. You go back and watch the movie, it's very different. And these walls are like the marble, where it's such specific colors and patterns and shapes. If something happened here, you could totally match it up. You couldn't miss it. And not just because the zombies were shot here by the entrance of the bikers, but you can just look at those colors and shapes and stuff. You can totally match up everything very easily. Right there. You guys get shot back there. Okay, here we are. Time to leave the Bikers Entrance. Can't get back in now because the mall is closed, so I'm gonna take off and walk back up toward the Bikers Road, and I'm gonna cut it off. So I gotta get back in my car, go check into my hotel, and officially kick off this whole Living Dead weekend thing. This is just a warm-up. It's not like I needed to walk more. I walked so much to the fucking airport today. They had a gate problem with the flight that got canceled. Not canceled, but they had a bad plane. So they had to send us all the way back across the airport where we came from the landing, back to the other terminal. Very, very far. And I love to walk. I'm not against walking, but I'm carrying a heavy backpack. I'm wheeling this thing around, and almost no sleep. It was miserable. So there it is, just to the left of Guitar Center, the Biker Road. And all the overgrowth, because of the passage of time, bigger trees, more leaves, and it's also not time for the leaves to fall. Most of the road is obscured. But in the movie, it's very clear. You can see way back up into the road where the bikers' lights are coming at night when they're up on that rooftop, checking them out. But that's the Bikers Road. Right there. I have to look it up. I forgot what it's called. I took it several times. My hotel was down that road in a different town last time I was here. Real crazy, terrible hotel, but it was a beautiful ride every day right into the mall. Got some nice fiery clouds above Cinemark. So yeah, here we are. Monroeville Mall, possibly for the last time. Got to really enjoy this week. So I'm treating this like it's a live stream, even though it's a local video, just because I'm not going to edit it. And I want to make sure I got the footage, because in the mall, live streams cut off all the time, unless you're in a couple key spots. So if it seems weird, I'm treating it like a live stream. That's why I'm doing it. But yeah, keep an eye out for all the other stuff this weekend. Uploads, live streams, all kinds of stuff. And thanks again for everyone watching the content, making comments and engaging and sharing your love of all this stuff. Thanks everybody. Catch you later.